Am I the butthole for asking my partner to stop posting personal details about our life online? Okay, Reddit, I need your advice on something that's been weighing heavily on my mind. I, 28F, have been in a relationship with my boyfriend, Bob, 30M, for over 2 years. Everything was going smoothly until I noticed a trend that made me increasingly uncomfortable. Bob loves to share our life online, and I'm not okay with it. Bob has a pretty decent following on social media. His posts range from funny memes to deep thoughts about life and love. At first, I thought it was cute. He'd share pictures of our outings, our date nights, or just moments that made us laugh. But over time, the content became more personal. Just a couple of weeks ago, Bob posted a lengthy status update about a disagreement we had. It was clear that he was trying to present it as a lighthearted couples argue too vibe, but honestly, it felt like our private struggles were being aired out like dirty laundry. His followers chimed in with their opinions, and I couldn't help but feel like we were turning our relationship into a reality show for strangers to dissect and comment on. The final straw for me came when he posted a video of us cooking together. It was supposed to be a fun memory. However, while editing the footage, he included a segment where I expressed my frustration about not having enough time to finish dinner before we had to meet friends. I wasn't angry, just overwhelmed, and I honestly didn't want that moment broadcasted to his followers. The comments ranged from, "She should relax," to, "You need to support her more," which only added flames to an already uncomfortable situation. After that, I decided it was time for a talk. I asked Bob if we could sit down and discuss his social media habits. Honestly, I was nervous. I didn't want him to think I was trying to control him or put a damper on his creative expression. When I brought it up, I started with positive reinforcement. I told him how much I appreciated his creativity and how he brings joy to his followers. But then, I expressed my concerns about privacy. I told him I felt uncomfortable about the details he shared that involved me and our life together. I mentioned that while I respect his freedom to express himself, I believed that our intimate moments should remain private, between just the two of us. Bob seemed taken aback. He countered that he wanted to share our love story with the world, and that it made him happy when he received positive feedback from his followers. I could see his point, but I felt like my feelings were being diminished. We went back and forth for a bit. He mentioned I was being too sensitive and hadn't considered that putting ourselves out there could actually inspire other couples going through similar struggles. I countered that mutual respect in a relationship must come first and that we should have a conversation before sharing anything particularly personal about one another. I suggested setting some boundaries, like not discussing our arguments or frustrations publicly and getting my consent before posting anything that includes me. I thought this was a reasonable compromise. Bob's reaction, however, shocked me. He got defensive and said he didn't see why my consent mattered when he saw his posts as harmless. He believed that I was being overly controlling and that if I didn't want that kind of exposure, I could just not be in the spotlight. This made me feel incredibly frustrated because I didn't ask him to stop posting. I just wanted to find a happy medium where my comfort came first. The conversation ended with me feeling unheard and Bob feeling misunderstood. We didn't resolve anything, and it's been affecting the dynamic between us. Every time I see him pull out his phone to capture a moment, my stomach sinks because I don't know whether it's going to end up online for everyone to see. Now, I'm faced with a dilemma. Am I in the wrong for wanting to protect my privacy in my relationship? Should I have just accepted his motives for sharing our life online? Or am I justified in setting boundaries for the sake of our relationship? I'm posting this for a few reasons. 1, I genuinely need your advice on how to navigate this. 2, I'm interested in hearing any experiences you've had in similar situations. And 3, am I just being overly sensitive? Please, share your thoughts and let me know if I'm the butthole in this situation. I appreciate you taking the time to read this. I just hope that through this discussion, I can find some clarity on where to go from here. Thanks. Update. I wanted to give you all a quick update. After reading through your comments, it became apparent that I wasn't alone in feeling this way. Many people echoed my sentiments about wanting boundaries in relationships, even on social media. After reflecting on the advice given, I decided to talk to Bob again. This time, I approached him differently. I acknowledged that I understood his desire to share our experiences, but emphasized that it felt more like sharing secrets than loving moments. To my surprise, he was more open this time around. I shared some examples of how certain posts could be misinterpreted, and I conveyed how they reflected on me personally. I reiterated that I didn't want to stifle his creativity. I merely wanted a small conversation about it first. He admitted he hadn't realized how some of his posts made me feel and agreed to be more mindful moving forward. We set some clear boundaries together, and I've even suggested turning some of our own shared experiences into content that we both agreed on. Though we have a long way to go in developing a communication style that works for both of us, I genuinely feel hopeful now. Thank you all for your support and advice. It really helped shape my approach to this sensitive situation. Now, what's your take on social media boundaries in relationships? Do you have experiences that could help others navigate similar challenges? Let's discuss.